Okay, so today we're going to be talking about inertia. Okay, inertia is a very simple concept. It's simple because all you need to do is just to understand and know how to explain it. Okay, there's a concept of inertia involved, and then there's a law. Okay, we need to talk about one law, and then there's one relationship. There's only three things. Okay, we have to understand how to explain the concept of inertia. Secondly, we have to talk about the law that explains what inertia is. And thirdly, there's a relationship, okay, that we need to talk about when we talk about inertia. Okay, so what is inertia? Okay, we're going to look into the textbook. And okay, all these words here, yada, 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 yada. Okay, so you see there's this clown over here and he's pulling the tablecloth. Okay, now, so the explanation here is an entertainer jerks a tablecloth without moving the objects on the table. I'm sure that if you've seen enough magic shows, this we have seen before lah. Kalau dia tarik ini kuat-kuat makan, okay, then we find that all these things here, dia tidak bergerak and only the tablecloth moves away. So why does this happen? It is not because of magic. Tiada juga hantu-hantu yang memegang itu bunga dan itu buah so that it stays there. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it's not a hantu, but it is actually because of inertia. Okay, so the question that sometimes we need to ask is, inertia itu milik siapa? Okay, who has the inertia? Okay, so inertia, okay, actually belongs to this bunch of flowers and the vase and also the fruits. Okay, it is the inertia in the flowers and the fruits yang menyebabkan dia stay. Okay, we're going to talk about these words later, but I just want you to understand is, kenapa dia tidak bergerak? Why does the flower and the plate of fruits, they don't move together with the tablecloth? It is because of the inertia inside them. Okay, it is the tendency okay, that is inside them. Satu kecenderungan dalam diri mereka sendiri. Okay, just like as students, kita cenderung untuk menjadi malas. Okay, I mean, well, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, time cuti kan kita punya kecenderungan is just to sleep down there and do nothing. Okay, so that's basically what inertia is about. Okay, yeah, I know. Then you have to be, you have to be pushed to do something, right? Like your teacher yang suruh jika kamu buat ini, buat itu. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of demonstrations for you, just to show you some examples of how inertia works. Okay, and for those of you in 4SA, if I've already done this example, you cannot use the same example in your video. Okay, otherwise everybody is going to take out a chocolate ice cream box and then do the same example. Cannot, okay? Be creative, be original, use your own. Okay, look for things in your house, okay, that you can use. For me, I'm just going to use, okay, I'm going to use an empty container. I'm going to use a shampoo bottle. This is a very new shampoo bottle, okay, that is heavy, okay, it's heavy. No, I'm not going to use my dog, okay, don't worry. Somebody's asking me, am I going to use my dog? No, I'm not, okay. And I'm going to use a simple file. Okay, so let me stand to do this. Okay, so I'm going to have this container over here, okay, and I'm going to put that file on top, okay, just like the tablecloth just now. Okay, I hope this works. I tested a few times yesterday, tapi selalu tak tahu apa. So I'm going to put this, trying my hardest not to shake my hand. Okay, so I'm going to put this bottle of shampoo on top here. Okay, it's very logical. Okay, if I pull, kalau saya tarik this file, okay, cukup laju, okay, it's going to be like the same tablecloth just now. Okay, for example, okay, wow, look, it worked. Okay, so it fell into the container. It didn't go together with the one. But, okay, let's say I do the same thing, okay, but instead of menarik dengan sangat kuat, okay, I'm going to pull it slowly. Okay, I'm going to pull it slowly. Now, if I pull the file very slowly, I find that, alamak, okay, the bottle follows with me. Okay, so why is that so? Why is it that if I tarik dengan sangat laju, oh, well, it stays there lah. Okay, if I pull it very fast, the bottle wants to stay over there. Okay, but if I pull it very slowly, okay, the bottle follows together with the file. Okay, we're going to answer that in a while. Now, I'm going to change my angle. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more demonstrations before I do all the explanation. Okay, so Please hang tight. I'm going to change this one, but I need to turn off the video so that you all don't see what my house looks like because it's too messy. Okay, and I will be with you in a while. Okay, just hang. Okay, so if I'm going to put her over here, I'm going to pull this very fast now. Okay, she's probably going to jump now. Okay, but you will find that if I pull her very slowly, okay, she follows. Okay, she follows together with the clock because of inertia. Okay, because of inertia, the inertia is strong enough, okay, to overcome this pull. But if I pull it very fast, if I pull it very fast, let's hope this works. Okay, if I pull it very fast. Okay, okay, so you find that for a few seconds now, she was staying over there. Okay, and this is because of the inertia inside her. Okay, so now I'm going to use a less dangerous method now. Okay, just now was just, well, I like to showcase my dog. So, okay, I'm going to use this bottle. Okay, this bottle is a bit more heavier. Okay, you can see the bottle is filled with water. Okay, so I'm going to put the bottle over here. Okay, same thing. Sorry, same thing as just now. So when I put it, okay, we find that, wow, look, the bottle stays. But I need to pull the tablecloth fast enough, okay, in order for this to work. Okay, if I pull the tablecloth slowly, if I pull the tablecloth slowly, we find that, okay, the bottle moves together. Bottle moves together with the cloth. But if I pull it fast enough, okay, we find that it stays. Okay, so the question is, why does it stay? Okay, and the answer to that is not because there is a ghost holding this bottle down, but it is because of the inertia in the bottle, in the water itself. Okay, there's an inertia in this object that makes it stay. Okay, think about that in a while. So what if I change this to something that is lighter? Okay, I'm going to use, where's my contacts? Okay. So I'm going to use this thing, okay, it's empty. Sorry, I'm going to use this thing, it's empty. And berbanding dengan yang botol air tadi, bahkan this is way lighter. Okay, sangat-sangat ringan. So, okay. So I'm going to do the same thing once again. Okay, and we compare, kita bandingkan dengan tadi yang botol air. Okay, if I pull it very fast, okay, we find that the tendency for it to stay still is less. Okay, dia punya kecenderungan untuk stay still, okay, is kurang. It's going to try to stay there a little bit more, but it's a little bit easier for me to pull this away. Okay, it's a little bit easier for this to fall berbanding dengan the bottle just now. Okay, so with all those examples done, I'm going to change the view again, and I will see you in a while. Okay, so we're talking about inertia. Okay, so inertia, as I said before, inertia is the tendency of an object, okay, to remain at rest. Okay, just like our bottle just now, okay, it has a tendency to remain at rest because originally, before I tarik the tablecloth, it was resting. Okay, and after I tarik the tablecloth, it was still there. So it is a tendency to remain at rest. Okay, or if it is already moving, it wants to continue moving. Okay, it wants to continue moving unless you stop it. Okay, so somebody is asking me, sir, you know, like when we just brake all of a sudden while driving, then the seat belts refrain you from hitting the front. Does that count as inertia? Okay, the inertia is inside you. That's a very good explanation. Let me read the question to you. Ada orang tanya saya, kalau kita duduk dalam kereta bahkan, then orang yang memandu itu dia tekan brake. Okay, so what is going to happen to our body? Okay, naturally, we want to move forward lah bahkan. Okay, if orang tekan brake and then you move backward, there's something wrong with your body. Okay, I don't know whether you realize this. If you've sat in a car and then somebody is braking, okay, you want to continue to move forward. Kamu memang akan tersentak ke depan. Okay, if you go to the back, then something is wrong with your body. Okay, naturally, we will want to move forward, and that is an example of inertia, and the inertia inside us because the car is moving. Okay, this is the car and this is you. Okay, live with it. Okay, so this, okay, this is the car and this is you. Okay, if the car is moving, okay, think about it. If the car is moving, means you are also moving together with the car. Okay, and then when the car brakes, okay, we find that because sebelum itu kamu sedang bergerak, okay, naturally you will still move forward, okay, because of the inertia inside you. The tendency inside you makes you want to continue moving. And that's why we have seat belts. Okay, and that's why people, when you're in a car, please wear a seat belt. Okay, because you cannot fight inertia. It's difficult to fight inertia. Not you cannot, it's difficult to fight inertia. Why does inertia exist? Because the world does. Okay, it's something that explains everything that happens around us. Okay, that's why it has to exist. Okay, so that's why, guys, please wear a belt when you're sitting in the car. Doesn't matter whether you're sitting behind or sitting in front. It's always a good idea to wear a belt. Don't be superhero and then saja mau pakailah tali pinggang keledar. Okay, because you cannot fight inertia. If the car suddenly breaks, you are going to fly out the car window, whether you're sitting at the back or in front, and something is going to happen. I mean, something is, something is going to be damaged lah. Okay, that's why we wear seat belts, so that we reduce the effects of inertia. Okay, kita kurangkan kesan inertia by keeping ourselves safe. Okay, because when the car suddenly breaks, your body cannot react fast enough for you to stop in time. Definitely you want to move forward because the tendency is there. Okay, memang everyone has the tendency to do that. Okay, thank you for the person that asked me just now. That counts as an effect. Sorry, that counts as correct, an effect of inertia. But remember, the inertia is inside the object. Okay, inertia is not caused by, it's not outside, it's inside the object. If we are moving, we want to continue moving. If we are stopped, we want to stop. Okay, somebody asked me, sir, sorry, is inertia affected by the mass of the object? Because sometimes we pull paper or kain on heavy things, it will koyak. That's a very good question to ask, and I'm going to answer that now. Now, first I said, we need to understand the concept of inertia, which I talked about in the textbook. Secondly, we need to talk about the law that explains inertia. And the name of the law is Newton's first law of motion. Okay, it basically explains the same thing. Newton's first law of motion, benda yang sedang berehat mau kekal rehat. Something is resting, it wants to continue resting. Something that is moving wants to continue moving unless you stop it by an external force. Okay, ada satu daya dari luar yang menyebabkannya berubah arah. Okay, or change something. Okay, so in the case of the car here just now, okay, the external force is the brake. When you brake, okay, there's an external force. I mean, something is causing it to stop. Okay, but we want to continue moving. So the question that was asked to me just now is, tiba-tiba kena ajar pasal keselamatan jalan raya, mesti, okay? Because science is also about safety. So somebody asked me, is inertia affected by the mass of the object? The answer is yes, it is affected by the mass of the object. Think about these two situations. Okay, and as I said just now, the difference between the two is the mass. One is lighter and one is heavier. Okay, think for yourselves, which of these two was harder for me to move just now? Bila saya kasi tarik itu the tablecloth, which one was harder to move? Okay, the answer is the bottle. Okay, because the bottle has a bigger mass and therefore it has a bigger inertia. Dia punya staying power, okay, is bigger. Okay, manakala this one was so much lighter. Okay, the smaller mass. Okay, and therefore dia mau cuba stay juga. Okay, doesn't mean that its smaller mass are no inertia. There's no such thing as no inertia. Everything in this world has that tendency. Okay, it's just that whether the tendency is less, the inertia is less, or the inertia is more. Okay, that's the only one that you need to ask. Okay, so, okay, I will answer the question in a while. The person will ask. Okay, so the question just now is inertia affected by the mass of the object? Yes. And the relationship is, the smaller the mass, okay, the smaller the inertia. Ada inertia. Okay, don't say just because the thing flip macam ini tadi bahkan means no inertia. No, ada. Okay, it's just that it has less. It is easier for me to push and pull this or to make it stop, okay, compared to a bottle. Just like, okay, for example, who's the smallest person in SA? Okay, just like me and Tian or Valerisa. Okay, fine. Me and Valerisa. Let's say if I were to run to, okay, I'm going to use this, I'm going to draw this now. So, sorry. Okay, so this is Valerisa, the one in green. Okay, and this is me. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's say, obviously lah kan, dia kecil dan saya besar lah. This is me lah. Okay, so if this is Valerisa and this is me, and we are both running. Okay, kita dua lari lah sama-sama. Oh sorry, I'm blue. Okay. We are both running. Okay, and there is somebody here. I'm going to change color. Okay, let's say this is Melanie. Okay, and Melanie is, putting her hands out like this to stop us lah. So Melanie punya tangan di sini and then tangan di sini. Yes, Melanie, you got very long hands. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so Melanie is going to start. Now tell me who is going to be harder to stop? Siapa yang lebih susah diberhentikan oleh Melanie? Obviously, it's me. Kurus juga Melanie. Hello. Okay, obviously I'm going to be harder to stop. Okay, whereas Valerisa, because she's so tiny and her mass is smaller, she's going to be easier to stop. Okay, or if I'm going to give you another example, let's choose somebody else lah. Okay, let's say this is Mordecai. Okay, this is Mordecai. Okay, this is watermelon. Okay, so Mordecai is going to push us. Okay, Mordecai is going to use his one hand yang boleh bercabang dua. Okay, doesn't matter lah. Okay, so Mordecai is going to push both of us. Okay, me and Valerisa. Okay, so the question you need to ask is, who is going to be easier to push? Okay, who is going to be easier untuk dikasih jatuhkan lah? Obviously, it's going to be Valerisa. Okay, it will be easier to move. Okay, easier to move means easier to stop. Okay, just like we explained this now. Okay, because, sorry, not because, so we're going to find that Valerisa is easier to move, it's easier to push her, and it's also easier to stop her. Manakala saya yang gemuk gedempol ini, okay, it's harder to stop and also harder to move. Okay, and the reason for this difference, okay, the reason of this difference is the difference in mass. Okay, Valerisa's mass is small mass. Manakala my mass, obviously, okay, is big mass. So we find that, okay, if you have a smaller mass, it's easier to push you, it's easier to stop you. Manakala, if I have a big mass, it's harder for you to push me, okay, and it's harder for me to be stopped. Sir, you are fit, stop body shaming. I'm not body shaming myself, I'm just comparing. Nothing to do with body shame, okay? I'm just comparing, okay? And we find that this explains the thing that we've been talking about. Okay, we find that since Valerisa is easier to move and easier to stop, okay, her inertia is smaller. She has a smaller inertia. Okay, if I am harder to stop and harder to move, means my inertia is bigger. Saya punya kecenderungan untuk berhenti atau saya punya kecenderungan untuk terus bergerak, okay, my tendency to continue to move is bigger, okay, it's harder for me to stop lah, okay, berbanding dengan Valerisa, okay, dia punya kecenderungan untuk berehat, dia punya kecenderungan untuk terus bergerak is smaller, okay, and the reason is because the mass is different. So we find that the relationship that we need to talk about, first is the concept, second is the law, third is the relationship. The relationship that we need to talk about today is the smaller the mass, the smaller the inertia. Or the bigger the mass, okay, the bigger the inertia. There's a very important relationship. Okay, and for those of you in 4SA, and I think all the classes also you're going to do this. For those of you who are this one, this is the experiment that we're going to do when we go back to school. Okay, the second experiment, which is the Muka Surat 53. Okay, so one of your homeworks, is to prepare this report. Okay, we're going to do this one and we're going to see, okay, inertia object depends on mass, and our hypothesis is the larger the mass, the larger the inertia. Makin besar dia punya jisim, makin besar dia punya inertia. Okay, and we find that we use the period of oscillation, okay, to represent the inertia of an object. Okay, which was the question that was asked to me just now. Somebody asked me just now, can inertia be measured? Okay, cannot. That's why I say inertia is not a physical quantity, it is just a concept. It is a tendency dalam diri kita. But we can use time, kita boleh gunakan masa untuk mewakili inertia. Okay? We cannot measure inertia. There's no inertia balance. No, there's no inertia machine or inertia measuring machine. Tiada. Tapi kita wakilkannya dengan mengira dia punya masa. Kalau dia punya masa lebih lama berayun, bahkan if it takes a longer time to swing, means the inertia is bigger. Kan? Okay, it's harder for it to stop. But if it takes a shorter time to swing, and they swing very fast, means the inertia is small. This is our hypothesis lah. Okay, so for those of you, and actually I think every class also has to do this because this is a compulsory experiment for all science students. Okay, please prepare the report for this. And for those of you in 4SA, stop here. Okay, do until results, and then we'll continue the rest after we finish the experiment. Okay, so please make sure that you have done this by April the 1st. Okay, don't come into the lab and then baru mau buat itu report. Jagalah kamu. Okay, teacher, is inertia and Newton's first law the same thing? Inertia is a concept. Okay, somebody asked me, is inertia and Newton's first law the same thing? Okay, inertia is a concept. Okay, we call it a physics concept. Okay, Newton's first law explains inertia. Okay, I want to say it's the same thing, but it is not. No, it talks about the same thing. Okay, it talks about the same thing. Newton's first law talks about inertia, but inertia itself is something that is in you. Okay, inertia is something that you have. Every object has. My mouse, this pen, this keychain, okay, this pencil case, this bottle, this container. Everything has inertia. Okay, the only thing that you need to ask is our inertia small or is our inertia big? Okay, another question is, who discovered inertia? Tell me whose law are we talking about now? Okay, the person who discovered the law is the person who discovered inertia. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at there. You think about it for yourself. Okay, so the person that asked me the question is inertia and Newton's first law the same thing. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, but thank you for the questions. Okay, so I just want to recap once again. The first thing we talked about was the concept of inertia. Okay, what is inertia? And then secondly is the law that explains inertia, Newton's first law of motion. And then thirdly is the relationship between inertia and mass. Okay, and we've already established that the bigger the mass, the bigger the inertia. Or the smaller the mass, the smaller the inertia. Okay, and we've already proven it using, I've already proven it using this tool. Okay, so for those of you in 4SA, your flip grade assignment, you need to think of a similar situation. You need to think of a similar situation. Okay. Okay, somebody, Umar lah. Okay, Umar asked whether Galileo was the one who discovered it. It's okay, maybe you should Google this and you find out for yourself who discovered inertia actually. Okay. All right. Okay, the last thing that we need to talk about is the effect of inertia in daily life. Okay, and our textbook, dia bagi banyak contoh lah, raindrop. Okay, this is the one that we were talking about just now. Okay, this is the one that we're talking about just now. The one where you press the brake. Okay, if the bus is going forward, you press the brake, everybody will. Sorry, if the bus is stopping, okay, then suddenly the bus moves. Everybody is going to the back because the tendency is to remain at rest. Okay, manakala if the bus is moving and then the bus suddenly brakes, okay, everyone is going to be thrown forward. Okay, because kita sedang bergerak, kan, kita mau terus bergerak. Okay, so it is the inertia inside the passengers, not the inertia of the bus. Okay, it is the inertia of the passengers that causes the passengers to move forward. Just like this one, it is the inertia in the water, okay, that makes the raindrops, continue to move, even though you already stopped with the umbrella. Okay. Thirdly, why is it that, if you don't know how to take out the chili sauce bottle, the chili sauce from the bottle, but we always shake the bottle. Okay, because when we shake the bottle, when we suddenly stop it, okay, the tomato sauce or the chili sauce inside the bottle is already moving. Okay, so it will want to come out. Okay, and all these other situations are here. I'm going to let you read them, okay, on your own. because I believe everyone has a textbook. Okay, so so for today, I only want you to understand the four things. First of all, what is inertia? Secondly, the law. Third is the relationship between inertia and mass. And lastly, several examples of inertia in daily life. Okay, so there are many, many examples here, and I'm only going to focus on one which is not in our textbook. Okay, but it is a very popular, demonstration now. Okay, so have you all ever been chased by a car before? This actually is a true story. It happened to me when I first started teaching. When I first started teaching, so I was sent to a sekolah di kampung. Okay, I was sent to sekolah di kampung. So one day I was walking in the kampung, and then suddenly somebody has been chased by a cow before. So saya berjalan-jalan di kampung kan, and what happened was suddenly I heard this behind me lah, and it was getting faster and it was getting louder and it's coming nearer towards me. I turned behind and then I saw this cow running towards me. For some reason or another, saya tidak faham kenapa lembu itu mau mengejar saya. Padahal I wasn't wearing a red color shirt. A lot of people think that red color, terus itu kerbau atau lembu, bahkan you become very angry lah. But I wasn't wearing a red color shirt. So I don't know what I did, okay, yang menyebabkan the kerbau or the lembu lah, sapi lah. So I don't know what I did that made the cow become so angry and started chasing me. And I was the only one there. No, bukannya ada orang di sebelah. I was the only one there. I was happily minding my own business, walking in the kampung, and then walking across the field and merentas padang. And then suddenly this cow was like, okay, and it's obviously running after me. Okay, maybe the cow found me very attractive. I don't know. So the thing that was like, okay, so what was I going to do lah? So and then obviously I ran faster than the cow, so it was okay. But if you actually have been chased by a cow before, let's say this is the cow lah. Okay. Yeah, excuse the drawing. Okay, let's say this is the cow and this is me. Okay. Cows generally, did the cow move? The cow didn't move. It just came across. Okay, so cows are generally heavier than me. So let's say at the time I was 85 kilos. Let's say the cow is about 200 kilos. Okay, it's a very big cow. I mean, it's very scary. Okay, so what would I have done okay, so that I can escape the cow? Okay, logically, if this has never happened to you, remember this lah. Okay, in case one day in your life you've been chased by a cow, then you will forever thank me for this class. Okay, all right. Somebody has responded. Very good. Run zigzag. Okay, run zigzag. Because the cow's eyes, okay, mata lembu itu tertumpu kepada kamu saja. So wherever you go, the cow is going to go. Okay, naturally kita mau lari lurus. Okay, but we find that the more lurus you are, okay, it's easier for the cow to catch you. Okay, somebody, Azharul said the right thing. You run zigzag. Because when you run zigzag, okay, it is easier for you to turn around. Okay, berbanding dengan the cow. If the cow runs zigzag, it's going to be very slow to turn around. Because if the inertia is bigger. Why is the inertia bigger? Because the mass is bigger. So it's harder for the cow to stop itself, turn, and then run. Stop itself, turn, and then run. Whereas I'm only 85 kilograms, much, much lighter compared to the cow. It's easier for me to stop and turn, stop and turn, stop and turn. Okay, so this is an example of inertia in daily life. Of course, I'm not expecting you to take a video of yourself being chased by a cow. But if there's a cow in your house, why? I wouldn't mind. Okay, pergi carilah sapi yang sanggup untuk mengejar kamu and make a video out of it and upload it in your Flipgrid. Okay, it'd be quite fun to watch you being chased by a cow. Okay, so and that's basically all for today. Okay, that's basically the lesson for today. We learned about the four things. What is inertia? What is the law that explains inertia? What is the relationship between mass and inertia? And lastly, some examples of inertia in daily life. The book is not, dia bukan memberi semua example. Okay, that's why I purposely, for 4 FA students, that's why I purposely gave you the video assignment. Because if you think about it, inertia is all around you. The
applications of inertia is all around you. So I want to challenge you to look around you and try to think of other examples of inertia selain daripada apa yang ada di dalam buku. Okay? If you really like to understand the idea, then okay lah, you can make a video on one of the examples in the book. Okay, but try not to do that. Okay, try to look for examples in the video. Okay, for example, me and a dog just now. I think that's one example. So if you have a pet and you have a cat at home, sorry, is the video laggy? Somebody is complaining that the video is laggy. Anyway, we're almost done. So, you know, we're almost done now. So the last thing that I want to do is to show you, okay, I want to talk to the 4SA students. Okay, so 4SA students, I want to remind you that you got 3 assignments. First of all is the Kahoot quiz berdasarkan this one. So far, only 9 people have turned in. Ada 20 tolak 1 lah. Ideal is not in the class. So there's another 19 more people yang belum hantar. Today, there's another Kahoot quiz, okay, which I want you to do. Please don't forget to turn in. And then the free fall exercise. Okay, soalan 3 dan soalan 4. I want to show you the people that have turned in and how they turn in. Look, okay, send 2 attachments. Okay, some of them are, some people is 1 page, some of it is 2 pages. Okay, if you're not sure of the answers, you can always ask me. Let me look through it and see whether it is done. But most of you who hantar, you seem to be quite okay. All right, so those of you who haven't hantar your assignment, please do so. And I also want to remind you about the other homeworks that you have to do. Okay, so as of today, you have 2 reports to complete. Okay, report number 1. Sorry, not report lah. Report number 1 is on the free fall experiment. Okay, which we will talk about some in our group lah. And then secondly is the report for today's experiment. Okay, which is found in page berapa itu page 53. Okay, page 53 in your textbook. Okay, so I'm going to let this time now for any questions. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? If the video is very laggy, I'm very sorry. Okay, you can always watch it later in the YouTube. But if there's, is there any questions from anybody? Anybody, doesn't matter which class you're from. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me now. Yang report free fall itu page berapa? Okay, the free fall report, let me see. Okay, those of you in 4SA, so the free fall report, saya cakap, is berdasarkan this one, right? Okay, berdasarkan page 48. Okay, but for the 4SA students, because we're not technically doing this experiment, okay, we're using tracker. Okay, so I want you to stop for a while. Jangan dulu sediakan report untuk ini. Because I'm working with several students to sediakan the procedure, then we will all use the same procedure. Okay, so please hold on this for a while. Termasuk the drawing, okay, because we're not using the photogate now, we're using tracker. So the punya experiment is lain sedikit. But what I really want you to do is I want you to go and look at this website. I need you to go and look at this website. Okay, video on how to find the acceleration due to gravity using tracker. Go and watch this video, understand how to use tracker to count the acceleration. Okay, then after that, the procedure itu, when we have finished, saya sedang bekerja dengan beberapa orang pelajar di kelas kamu. So when we have finished the procedure, then we will share the procedure with all of you. Okay, so are we really not allowed to use the examples on textbook for Flipgrid? Sorry, this person asked me privately. Yes, if you can, try not to use the examples from the textbook. Okay, but if you really have no more idea, okay, then can lah. I would suggest that for your Flipgrid assignment, you look at YouTube videos. Okay, there are actually a lot more examples. Yesterday alone now, when I was researching for today's class, I found like several videos, okay, just by Googling, okay, I found several videos that are not in a textbook, okay, and they're quite easy to do at home. So we can actually do this even with the NCO or the RMO, depending on which version you want to use. Okay, before that, Angeline, somebody also asked me, does inertia exist in outer space? Okay, the answer to that is yes. Okay, because remember, inertia is not dependent, dia tidak bergantung kepada faktor persekitaran. It only depends on one thing, which is our mass. And the mass is inside us. Okay, which is why, let's say for example, kita sedang terapung-apung di angkasa lepas tu kan. We are going to continue to terapung unless we hit an asteroid or we hit a spaceship, you know, or something else stops us. Okay, or we press the button and then terus ada keluar kan. But yeah, it exists in us. So if we are in outer space, we definitely still have inertia. If we are on Earth, we still have inertia. Okay, anything that has mass will have inertia. Okay, sama ada dia di outer space atau on the Earth. Okay, Angeline asks us how to send attachment. I'm using laptop now, and since I'm using laptop, okay, and I'm using it as a teacher, I would suggest that you try to ask somebody else. Actually, can one. Okay, you can use the attachment. You may have to use the laptop. If you're not using laptop, then what you can do is you can snap a photo. Okay, you can snap a photo, and then there's a button over there on your phone in the Google Classroom for you to send the attachment. It's possible one. Okay, ask your friends, or you can personally message me later. Try to go to browser and use desktop mode. Is Oswald asking me or Oswald asking Angeline? Telling Angeline. Oh, phone. Yeah, okay. Also can. Okay. So Angeline, don't worry about the attachment. If you still don't know how to do it after experimenting, okay, try to ask somebody in the class, or you can personally message me, and then I will try to help you as much as I can. Okay. Is there any more questions for today's lesson? Okay, thank you, everyone. You've been a very good audience today. Okay, kalau tiada sudah, I think that's about all for today. We can call it a day. See, we ended before 11. Okay, because today's concept is very simple. Only 4 things you need to know. Okay, and there's no calculation. It is just a concept. Okay, it is just a concept. It is not even a physical quantity. Okay, so kita tidak boleh measure. Okay, it's just a concept that is explained by a law. All right, so I will see you on Friday. Okay, Friday we will start with the probably the most difficult. Oh yes, somebody asked me, I totally forgot about this question. Somebody asked me, PP1 sampai mana? I will let you know on Friday. Okay, our peperiksaan PP1 sampai mana? I will let you know by Friday. Because Friday we're doing momentum, but I have forgotten, because bukan saya yang sediakan, but Form 4 this time. So I need to ask the other Form 4 teachers, Teacher Fiona, Teacher Farhana, and Teacher He. I need to ask them where they prepare until. But if I'm not mistaken now, okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's until inertia. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, but whatever it is, whether it's until inertia or not, we have time to do momentum this Friday. Okay, so I will see you all. Thanks for being such a good audience. I will see you all on Friday.